2. The administration of justice or right. This sphere is necessary because independent, self-seeking wills inevitably come into collision with each other. The rights which apply to persons and were deduced earlier must now, in objective spirit, be transformed into laws, which become established and recognized as universally valid by being known by all and posited. Law is posited or positive right. But there is also contingency here. For example, whether a punishment be 2, 2.5, or 3 years cannot be decided by reason or the concept. The positive form of laws, their being expressed, made public, is a condition of their legality and the obligation to obey them. Legality further needs the administration of justice and the court of law, where right is proven and punishment, the negation of wrong, is legally applied. A judicial decision made by a jury court or judge has 2 components: the judgment about the facts and the judgment as an application of the law, the universal, to the facts, the particulars. For Hegel, the highest degree of assurance and the final judicial decision lies in the confession of the accused. Lastly, 3, the police or public authority and the corporation. Here, the concern is the protection and well-being of all, hence, on the universal and ethical as a corrective to the unrestrained self-seeking of the particularity of the individuals of civil society, which often leads to an unfair distribution of society's wealth. In brief, society must secure the satisfaction of the needs of everyone, especially the poor and their welfare. And the public authority is the mechanism for doing this. The corporation also has substantial universality as its purpose, since it provides goods or services for a large portion of society. In it, the particular citizen finds the security of her resources and income and rises to a universal end. In her duties, she has her ethical code whereby she ongoingly realizes the good in the world. 2, the state. The state, as the universal self-conscious ethical substance, is reason incarnate, the absolutely infinite free will realized. It is the unity of the individual will and the universal will, of the family and civil society, which are no longer independent but taken up and included within the state as its organic moments. The state has 3 parts. A, the Constitution, right within the state. B, international law, right between states. And C, world history. Thus the state, spirit, reason, freedom, the good actualized, is just the unity of universality and individuality, UI. Hegel provides perhaps the best description of the state's essence in his Phenomenology of Spirit, where he says the following: reason, the certainty of being all reality, is spirit when it is conscious of itself as its own world and of the world as itself. Further, quote, the concept of self-conscious reason has its complete reality in the life of a people or nation, i.e. in the state, where it beholds in the independence of the other complete unity with it. Reason is present in the state as the fluid, universal ethical substance where the many completely independent persons are dissolved in the independent ethical substance. They are conscious as these separate independent beings through the sacrifice of their particularity, and by having this universal substance as their soul and essence, just as this universal is their own doing and the work they have produced. The purely particular activity and occupation of the individual refers to the needs which he has as a natural, immediate individuality. The labor of the individual for his own needs is just as much a satisfaction of the needs of others as of his own. And the satisfaction of his own needs he obtains only through the labor of others. In his individual work, he already performs a universal work. This universal ethical substance, the state, speaks its universal language in its laws and customs. The laws, i.e. reason, proclaims what each individual is and does, and the individual equally knows himself in the laws. In the universal ethical spirit, each has only the certainty of himself, of finding in the actual world nothing but himself. He is as certain of the others as he is of himself. I regard them as myself and myself as them, end quote.